Okay, hello YouTube and YouTube subscribers. Today I'm going to be doing a species profile on the Firemouth cichlid, otherwise known as Thorichthys meeki. Now, the Firemouth cichlid is a Central American cichlid, or a New World cichlid. It belongs to the subfamily Cichlids, so it's closely related to most of the other South American cichlids, such as angels, discus, acaras, convicts, Midas, red devils, wolf cichlids, and stuff like that. Now, unlike a lot of its other cichlid brethren from South America, the Firemouth is not particularly aggressive. You know, some individuals are, but usually they're more of a semi-aggressive cichlid. They do become pretty territorial and aggressive when they're spawning. And if you want to spawn them, when you want to tell the male and female apart, is that the male's bigger. And the male usually has these fin extensions right here and down here, but it's possible for females to have fin extensions also. They also have fin extensions on the caudal fin too. I had one fish that I thought was male for years, and then when I gave it to my friend, it actually laid eggs, and it turned out it was female. Also, some firemouths with age, they can develop a nuchal hump right here, but it doesn't usually get particularly big in firemouths, unlike some other cichlids like Midas, to the point where it looks like they got a tumor growing on their head. Now, in terms of size, the firemouth usually grows from 4 to 6 inches. But it's possible to get males that are up to 7 inches long. Females are generally a bit smaller than the males, probably about an inch or so shorter. Now, the firemouth is, for the most part, it's omnivorous. It eats pretty much all types of aquarium foods. So you want to feed it a well-balanced cichlid flake or pellet, or even general flakes. When I kept my firemouths, I fed it general tropical fish flakes mixed in with shrimp pellets, which they love, and occasional live earthworms. And plus algae wafers. That's what mine was fed. As well, I also would feed mine krill that was broken up, tube fixed worms. Well, it's a bloodworm. So it's a very adaptable fish in terms of diet. It's also, I would say the firemouth is not a standard community fish, but it does well in kind of a rough and tumble community tank where the other fish are tough or fast. So, if you want to keep a firemouth in a kind of a rough and tumble community tank, it's probably going to be the dominant fish if it's not around our cichlids. So I kept mine with spotted grammies, which are semi-aggressive, and with zebra danos, which are quick, and plecos and corridors and stuff like that. And they don't bug other fish too much, but they do have control over the tank. And basically, when it was put in a tank with other fish during its territorial visit, it would basically just take the whole tank as its territory. Now, the firemouth cichlid does become aggressive when it spawns, and usually when they go into territorial defense, what they have is they drop their gill lining down here. They drop it out and they puff their gills out, and it's just a magnificent display where the belly region and the throat region will become bright red. Some of these fish actually have an orange belly though, and bright orange, and it looks absolutely stunning. And another thing to keep in mind about the Firemouth cichlid is, in terms of breeding, cichlids of the South American group, they have a really, really high ability to crossbreed and hybridize. One common hybrid between firemouths is the con firemouth, which is a firemouth crossed by a convict cichlid. And it's quite fertile. The hybrids are fertile for some reason, despite them being of a different genus. I've also heard of people crossing firemouths with Texas cichlids, with Jack Dempsey's, with green terrors, and a whole bunch of our South Americans. And there's some genetic reason for that, cichlids, because of the way how they speciate. For some reason, they seem to evolve really fast, but their core genetics doesn't change that much, so they maintain the ability to crossbreed with each other. And as a result of that, well, it's actually possible for them to crossbreed with enough frequency that it creates a new species sometimes. So the firemouth is a pretty good starter cichlid because it's not that aggressive, it's not that big either. But keep in mind, if you're going to keep this guy in a cichlid community tank, it's likely going to end up being the punching bag of the tank, because the firemouth's a bluff. The firemouth, although it looks really tough, it's not the most like boss cichlid there is. Because I've seen firemouths lose fights to paradise fish. I've seen them lose fights to spotted grammies. The firemouth in a cichlid community tank will just get absolutely whooped by a more aggressive cichlid like a convict or a bigger species. Will just whoop them. So if you're going to keep them in a cichlid community tank, make sure you got a pretty big tank. And make sure you don't pick the more aggressive cichlid species to go with them. So, in terms of general community mixing, you can keep Firemouth with large tetras, large live bearers, large barbs. Some of the spotted Grammys work. Kissing Grammys can work. Corydoras, those work too. Pictus. A lot of the bomb-dwelling armored catfish work, plecos and all that. So, it's a pretty good fish to mix. And it's a really good star cichlid. Keep in mind it has a long lifespan of about 10 to 15 years. So, I would greatly recommend the Firemouth cichlid for beginners that are getting into cichlids. So, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.